option, but she couldn't bring herself to pay it. The car rolled through the heart of Charleston, South Carolina, and she saw the families playing on the street. She saw herself from 6 months ago. She wished beyond anything to go home to Colorado, to forget about the fight she'd had with her mother, to forget about the time she crawled out of her window to physically meet the man she'd talked to online, Slaven Kovac, to reset her life. She watched the people walking about without a care in the world and started to sob, keeping it quiet to prevent a slap for her weakness. She remembered reading Dante's Inferno her last year in high school, where she couldn't understand half of what her English teacher was trying to impart about the symbolism and meaning of the poem. Now she did, because she was living it. Slaven said, "Cut that shit out. We're going to the house. And then you'll do just like before. I promise this time there'll be no violence. Just you and the man. It's Charleston." She nodded, knowing this town would be like all the others, but hoping he was telling the truth about the violence. They traveled down the crosstown, then took a left at a sign pointing the way to Folly Beach. 30 minutes later, the car pulled up to a stoplight in the center of a small town, the streets lined with beach shops, bars, and restaurants. Slaven went right on Ashley Avenue, passing a seedy motel advertising single-use cottages. Slaven said, "That'll be your work area. Radovan said he's already used it with Misty the last 2 nights." He slowed down, and she saw a crumbling one-story building set back from the road, a small neon sign announcing vacation rentals, vacancy. Behind it was a row of 4 small cottages, interspersed between garbage cans and cars, all of them looking like they'd been built in the 60s. Slaven continued driving for another mile, the road lined with beach houses and old brick ranch dwellings. He eventually pulled into a circular drive in front of a 2-story wooden house on stilts, the first floor ringed with a porch and a long stairwell leading to the front door. He said, "This is home for the next week. Same rules as always." She nodded, grabbed her small bag from the back seat, then followed behind him up the stairs, her head down. The door opened before he even knocked, and Beth saw Radovan Dragovic, the man the girls called the Enforcer. Broad-shouldered and tall, with a receding hairline and a thick, bony brow, he had pig eyes and a slit of a mouth that was perpetually open, showcasing teeth that looked too small for his gums. She'd been told that he'd had his nose smashed sometime in the past, and it hadn't healed correctly, leaving him a constant mouth breather. She instinctively hid behind Slaven, knowing that Radovan sometimes liked to slap the girls just for fun. He shook Slaven's hand as they entered, and Beth wondered where the third man was, the one they called Doc. She caught herself searching the den and folded her head down, eyes on the floor, standing meekly waiting on instructions. She'd learned the best way to stay out of trouble was to try to remain invisible. They began talking in a strange language she didn't understand, a guttural, coarse dialect they preferred to use with one another. After a brief conversation, Slaven turned to her with fake exuberance and said, "Hey, you have a repeat customer. Some guy from Virginia is down here in Charleston. He saw you on the website, and you must have made an impression." Virginia had been weeks ago, and the mention of the state was no help at all. The only good thing was that, precisely because she couldn't remember, nothing horrible had happened there. She most definitely remembered Washington, D.C. She simply nodded. He said, "Go upstairs and find your room. This one is downtown, tonight. Looks like you get over with only one this time. Misty will have to pick up your slack with a full slate. Get out of those scuzzy shorts and put on the sundress I bought you. Clean up. I want you looking like a tourist. We'll go check out the venue. Make sure you know where to go." Meaning, make sure you don't get any ideas about fleeing. She stood for a pregnant second, and Radovan snarled and raised his hand. She grabbed her bag, put her other arm over her head, and raced up the stairs, hearing him laugh behind her. She opened a bedroom door and saw